Hello, Stefan. I am very pleased to have you today. How are you?
Hello, Ronaldo. I'm very pleased to be with you, with OVH today to speak about data and how we work together.
Yes, indeed. We are in the session talking about data. Data is the new gold today. And we would like to understand with you today why Mediarithmics has chosen OVHcloud to serve customers with critical data. So if you could introduce yourself, please, and tell a little bit about what you have done and about Mediarithmics, please.
So I'm Stéphane Dugelet. I'm the founder and president of Mediarithmics. I'm also what we call the geek in chief, meaning that I'm still very much involved in all the technical details of the Mediarithmics platform. Mediarithmics is a software as a service. We operate in the marketing environment. We provide a software platform to help the brands, media, retailers, to really tackle the very hard issue on the digital marketing, which is how to manage huge volume of data, to make good decisions and to leverage those decisions in many different scenarios in a complex ecosystem. So we are like a nervous system for data marketing. We operate in France and in the UK, in Canada, and we expand currently in other countries.
Nice. And how long have you created this company? It's been a few years now.
Yes, it's a few years now. We have been through more than 2 years of full R&D. This was very interesting as it was really a coding experience, including myself. And after that, we developed the business, and we are on the market now for the last 5 years. So it's 7 years in total, but we're growing very fast in the last 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. It's really amazing on R&D. And so I would have a question. How did you come with that idea? Because I guess we have a few other competitors, large competitors about data marketing. How did you come with that idea and took 2 years to develop your specific product?
The origin of the Mediarithmics project is based on intuition that the level of complexity that is connected to the huge data volume we face in data marketing will need a complete different stack of technology. So if I make a very simple comparison between what was needed yesterday and what is needed today. Yesterday, you could organize your one-to-one marketing based on your profile data, so the information about your clients or their email, their address, maybe the kind of transactions they are doing with your brand. But now it is absolutely necessary to also capture all the behavioral data. So when they have been in your website, even if they are not logged at this moment, when they have been on your mobile application, and the volume of data is a multiple of 1,000. So you need to multiply the quantity of data by 1,000 at least. Mm-hmm. And this is very simple to understand, because if you look at a website, the usual conversion rate of a website is below 1%. It's meaning for 100 visitors, you have only one sale. And during a visit, a person has many touches, but you could simplify and say that there are 10 touches. So 10 touches multiplied by 100 visitors, it gives you the 1,000 factor. And you cannot solve the issue of data marketing with SQL technology or with Salesforce technology, or the historic Salesforce technology. So you need to change the way the cloud manage the large volume of data for data marketing. This was a very simple idea. I mean, it's very complex to solve, and it's not totally solved today. We are on a good track, and we face big competitors, but our DNA is very strong. And when we explain what we do to data native audience, they really understand very well what we do and how we differentiate from our competitors like Salesforce, Oracle, Adobe. So this is very interesting for us to have this momentum today on the market.
Okay, that's a very big challenge because you talked about Salesforce is not a little one, and Adobe is not a little one. So
we are not shy, obviously.
Yes.
We are fighting every day to get new clients. But at the end of the day, the product will speak for us, and is already speaking for us. And I mean, the way we do it is important, of course.
Okay. I feel just like you're showing the market that it's possible to bring an alternative to the large competitors right now. Okay. Yeah. I get the idea. I feel like we have something in common here with OVH. So when you decided to have this business and to launch this business, what were the challenges you have to face?
So the key challenges, if we focus on the technical part and on the hardware and the hosting, is that we were not able to leverage existing database engine because we had to develop our own database engine. So this is based on open source solutions, but basically we have built something very different based on a different open source project, and we absolutely needed to have bare metal performance because when we tried to operate Mediarithmics on virtual machines or even on different clouds, it was not working very well. It was the performance was poor. We are poor. So quite rapidly in the project, we decided we wanted to switch to a new kind of cloud provider that could help us both in the performance and in the scale, because we have many different machines and we want to operate in different countries. And this was the moment where we met OVH and we started to work with OVH. And it is very important for us to be able to leverage both bare metal infrastructure, so really infrastructure as a service, with more packaged service that we use also, but we could find this kind of service maybe elsewhere. But really for the core of the platform, we absolutely need to have the performance that OVH is able to provide.
Okay, but on the market, as you said, there are quite few products that could have addressed your need. And what you are telling is that you didn't reach the level of performance that you needed. Is that correct?
Yes, I mean in this market you have to be focused on the technical performance, of course, but also as an entrepreneur and as a startup, as the financial performance, meaning that you want to have a return on invest in your operations that is compatible with the price that you want to give or define in the market. And the price performance that we found with OVH is really more interesting than the price performance we had or we tried to get with over solutions. So yes, it goes beyond the technical performance, and it's a whole. It's about how we do a good business with this kind of solution. And there is also one important aspect in my mind, which is we share the same values with OVH. So beyond the fact that, of course, we have very good performance and in terms return on investments, it's very interesting. We share the same values that we absolutely need to show the rest of the world that it is possible to compete with the big platforms.
So if I understand what you wanted to find, it's to have to control the costs at all the levels, and that means on the compute part, on the storage part, and the network part. So you wanted to be in control on all the layers and let the infra layer to another provider like OVH. So what would be the other challenges you have? You have the performance. I guess maybe you have something around the data privacy, according to the market you are looking to, you wanted to reach with Mediarithmics.
Yeah. Obviously, this is we have a regulatory constraint requirements within Mediarithmics because as the results of operation, we store a lot of user data in our platform. So it's not the data owned by Mediarithmics; it is the data owned by our clients. But this is a very strong responsibility for us to be sure that we comply as a data processor with GDPR regulation in Europe, PIPEDA in Canada, and the new regulation in the rest of the world. And the idea of the data governance is really something strong also within the top management of our clients, because we didn't mention that, but we work for big companies with big names, very strong brands, and they are concerned by how the data that we manage for them is stored, where it is stored, and yes, this is more comfortable to work with OVH in Europe because OVH is not in competition, for example, with the retailers, whereas Amazon is in competition with all retailers in Europe. It's easier to work with OVH than Google, but Google is in competition with everyone in Europe, even the media. So yes, obviously the fact that we work for strong brands put a pressure on the data privacy and data governance, and this is a sweet spot also for relationship with OVH.
And maybe another point, it's you are growing quite fast, and I hope you will grow even faster. And there's maybe another point: the scalability, the capacity to have more servers, in your case, more hosting services to reach new customers.
Yes, what we like. Also very much is the reactivity of OVH, because we, as you mentioned, as we grow, we need to create new what we call data farms. So data farms for us is a unit of compute storage that we need to pop up. I mean, every time you open a country, we have only 1 or 2 data farms, and a data farm is quite a number of servers to operate in a short period of time, and it's very interesting to be able to operate with OVH on this aspect, because we can pop up a new data farm in a few days. So my salespeople are very comfortable when we discuss with prospect in Asia or in South America and even in North America, because they know that if they are ready to sell something, we'll be able to operate quite rapidly and to follow the process the same. And it's not, I mean, we are not talking about virtual machines, because it could be very easy in any cloud to pop up new virtual machines in a data center. We are really talking about a bare metal, a very performant bare metal that is often very customized by OVH. So yes, this is very cool to be able to do that.
So to face those challenges we have just discussed, you needed to look at the solution, and I guess that you have looked all the markets. And can you add a few words about the relationship with the OVHcloud? I feel on the conversation that we have a few things in common. One of them is maybe our pure player position. So if you can add a few words about our relationship.
I would say we have the same values and the same vision. So we we want to maintain a world where you have the choice, where there is a choice and there is a good choice. It's not a choice based on only on friendship or only on the regulations. It's a choice based on performance. It's a choice based on true added value. And what we see often in our market, and I think it's also true in yours, and this is why we share our values, is that this is not always the best solution that is chosen because there are political aspects, there are some noisy trends on the market that we need to fight. And as soon as we have the possibility to show for real that we are able to compete and we are able to do the job, then we can win. And so basically, this is a question of marketing, of image that we want to bring on the market to show that yes, European company, French companies can do the same kind of technology as big Californian players or even Asian players now. Yeah, it's a fight, which is kind of the fight that we share both companies.
Yes, as you said, I think that our main point here is the cloud market has been developed with quite an American vision of the cloud. But the point is to show that we European people we can have our cloud vision, and it might be different or complementary, and we don't need just to. Is it possible to have our own vision and address our way of doing business in Europe? I agree with that. So we are pure players. We only do what we say we want to do, and we invest on that. You have invested 2 years of development, which is quite a lot. But as far as I understand, you have a passion for programming. It's one of your passions. So.
Yes, I mean coding remains a very strong passion for me, and I don't have the time today to do that in a recurring way. But yes, I continue to challenge the developers in the engineering team, and sometimes I come back to code to show them it's possible to do the trick I have in mind, but it's not so often.
Okay, so and if I'm not wrong, you have started developing your own site at 12.
Yes, I started to code even maybe sooner than that. So it was a very small application. So the web did not exist at this moment. But yeah, the technology is very and coding more than technology is something I very appreciate, and it's very interesting. It's great. It's both creative and it's also a way to propose new things and to work with people. So within Mediarithmics, we have this very strong coding culture. So even the non-geek know about the code, and not technical code, but they know that.
Okay, I like your story because it makes me think that many coders, many developers are eager to find products easy to use, not because they're lazy, because they are fed up about admin fees that are taking too long time to deliver or thing. We know the story about that, and it's interesting because we have here a company that's it's really on the coding. Coding is key on this company, and still this company, your company, want to be in control of all the layers and not just say let's use a ready to use product, but after maybe it will not so easy to be in control of the performance. So you have decided to start from a basic IS server on the from the hardware level. You want to be in full control in order to have the best price and best performance for your customers. So in that way, it's really interesting story. As I feel, it's the OVHcloud brings you the best performance for your market and the best price performance for your market.
Yeah, I totally agree, and this is more than that. This is strategic vision. I mean, I know that some startups are doing well, coding on top packaged services that are provided by Google or Salesforce or Azure. Well, less for Azure, but if I take, for example, Google, we have some competitors that are doing quite a good job by building a solution on top of BigQuery, on top of GCP, on top of very packaged services. This is not the way we wanted to create Mediarithmics, because we want to create also some intellectual property. Because if you are only doing some code on top of existing packaged blocks, the question is, how are you going to differentiate in 1 year, in 2 years, when you have to face a new gap, a new scale, a new performance, and at the end of the day, a large part of the value is captured by the packaged services. If it is a part of a strategy where you start this way because you need to go fast on the market, but you have in mind that at some point you will need to replace the things you chose at the moment because it was easier. Yes, maybe. This is partly what we've done, even if yes, I must admit that from the beginning we started really to go on the hard road and to get only the bare metal and the disk and the network services, not playing with Kubernetes, not playing with BigQuery, not playing with this kind of technology, because we wanted to be sure that we create a strong intellectual property. And yeah, this is a different strategic path. I feel like if you want to create a strong asset within the company, and to face new issues, new transformation. For example, in the data marketing today, there is a strong transformation because third-party cookies, mobile ID in advertising are planned to disappear. So we know that in 1 year from now, we will need to do different. Yes, I prefer to be in my situation.
Yes, I agree, and thank you for this clarification. That I do understand now your choice. So, if I sum up a little bit, you have chosen OVHcloud because of we provide servers, hardware, and then you can be in control on the rest. We have talked about the performances. We have talked about a little bit about security. Did you benchmark us with other competitors?
Yes, we benchmark with other competitors, and this is really normal that we continue to benchmark. So when we have chosen OVH, so I think it was since in 2015. We did a comparison with Azure, because Azure is maybe the only in our industry where we do marketing. It's very complex to work with Amazon and Google, because they are themselves the competitors of our clients, so forbidden. So we did a benchmark with Azure, and we continue to have some services within Azure to have a dual hosting. I would say that something like 80% or maybe even more is moving OVH, and the rest is with Azure. But it is also a way for us to mitigate the risk and to be able to know how the competition is going.
Understand. And what about the OVH services? You have mentioned a few of them. How the services reinforce you in your choice?
I mean, the first level of services that the services that we value the more is around security. And to share with you, we had a DDoS attack yesterday.
Oh, really?
It was a very strong DDoS attack. It was the first one that basically was so strong that our load balancers were completely overcrowded. And the OVH security team helped us to mitigate the issue, and we installed very rapidly new load balancers. And so we had a disruption in the service, but I mean it was impossible not to do that because it was really huge. And yes, we leveraged the competencies of OVH in this situation. And if we were alone, or even if we were, I don't know how it works with other systems, but I feel like we had a lot of chance yesterday to find this together. And then there is the day-to-day support from OVH, because we have many servers. We transfer the server because we want also to get new machines, to depreciate the old ones. So we have a flow. We have a continuous flow of operation with OVH between the new data farm that we create and the server we depreciate. This is really a continuous work, and we have a very good support for that. So that's, I'm not sure. I'm sure of the contrary that it won't be the same with large clouds like Azure, for example.
Okay, and there is different level of support in OVH. What is the level you are using now?
We use the higher level. I can't remember the name, so maybe you can help me with the name. But
enterprise.
Yes. So we have the enterprise level, and this is thanks to the enterprise level that we have the support to manage all the changes on the platform. We are very happy with the enterprise support. I did not mention, but we are 60 people, and I think now that we have more than 600 servers, so 10 times the number of employees. And we are not talking about VM. So if we translate in VM, it will be something like 1,000 VM. So yes, it takes some time to manage these properties. And we do that in close relationship with OVH support.
Thank you very much for the feedbacks. Where are you today, in fact? Could you have just mentioned that you have 10 more servers than people and employees. What about the storage, the international deployment, and what can you tell about that?
So about the storage, I would say you know better than us, because we use intensively your SSD drives, and as we are really some strong QPS and IOPS, and I know that it can bring some headache on your side, because we have some very strong usage of on hard drives. I know that we have some Elasticsearch cluster where, for example, a cluster of 50 servers where all the servers are at very high load every hour, and I know that this is very demanding on the servers and on the platform. So I know that we have something like, yes, we have the figures here, that hundreds of terabytes. And yes, it's still the beginning, because we get new big clients every month. On a typical client of Mediarithmics will store billions of data points in the platform. So we've just won a French TV channel. It's a new client for Mediarithmics, and for this TV channel, we capture any behavior regarding what kind of program is watched by the user, what is the navigation on the app, the website, the set-top box. And it is a 3 billion data point on 30 days. It's huge. Yeah, it's huge. So this is really what we store on a daily basis, and in total, as you see, it's very important. And it's not a flat storage, but it's very important. It's not okay. It's not some data that you store and you forget the data and it's okay, and maybe you will access the data in 2 months. No. In Mediarithmics, we store the data and it is a scan every hour. I mean, we have many different processes, but the data needs to be very hot. Because we do strong scan and queries on the data to capture everything that needs to be captured. So it's a larger volume of hot data. It's not cold data that is stored somewhere for archive. It's very hot data.
Yes, I have the chance to have you as a customer for a few years. We have the opportunity to, because we're always looking for the best performance. You have few clusters, and on the clusters, it's really key to have the right ratio between the CPU, between the storage you have on that, the RAM, and on the model we provide. What is nice is you can just try for 1 month a kind of cluster with a type of server. If it's not okay, and if you want to try another model, you can. So we have had the opportunity to try a few servers at the beginning until we have found the best one. We have few conversations about even the BIOS and so on. So that means that together we are able to see at all the levels how we can improve the performance and the price.
Yes, and this is very comfortable for us to be able to do experiments. And we do a lot of experiments with OVH. Yes, you are right to mention it because this is a continuous improvement. As I mentioned, we have Elasticsearch clusters where we do really a lot of scans, and we plan certainly to switch from Elasticsearch to our own indexer. So we are going to develop our own version of Elasticsearch to ensure that we do the most of the hardware performance. But we do that also because we know that with you, we have tested everything, and that now it is our role to go further. This is always a kind of of trade-off between coding and getting the best performance from hardware. And sometimes you need to face the reality that, okay, even if the hardware is the best hardware you can find, you still need to go further, so you need to code.
Okay. So you are really pleased because it's what you like.
Yeah, and I'm pleased because this is a challenge. But sometimes you need to do some trade-off in the development of a company.
So, what would be the key achievements and benefit you have gained from having your infrastructure in OVH?
I would say it's the if I summarize what we discussed about the performance, the pricing, the agility, also to the openness, because I think on both sides we are strong technical skills, and we are very open to share and to be sure that we find the best solution, and I think it's fair. I like the idea that we have a fair relationship based on the true value. Because I mean, we are certainly one of the very interesting clients because we have a big deal with you, but it's okay, it's fair because we know that you do the best, and we know that we use a lot of power within OVH, and this is very important to have this close relationship and this idea that we absolutely need to pay for what you have, but we work together to get the best for what we pay, and this is not for. I'm not sure that we will get this kind of reassurance with another company or another cloud provider.
Okay.
Because the structure, the reactivity, the agility, even the pricing is not decided within your scope. It is decided maybe in Cupertino or maybe in Redmond, and we don't want to have this kind of discussions. We want to be very reactive with our cloud provider.
Yes, and your company is doing very well, and I'm always impressed how you can reach few large companies. If you can mention a few of them.
Yes, of course. So we work for companies that American people like to call blue chips because they are very well known, they are big brands, and they have very strong impact on the market. So we work both for retailers and media. And if we talk about retailers, we work in France with Cdiscount, with La Fnac, La Fnac Darty. We work also with all the brands of the family Mullier, so Auchan, Decathlon, Kiabi, Noroto. Donc it's very huge a project with many different brands. We work also with Casino. And we work also with smaller retailers. I mean, we work also for Cheers or for Showroom Privé, so we like also smaller players. And in the media, we also work for TVs. I mean, this is quite new, but we work for TVs. We work for Channel 4 in the UK. We work for France Télévisions in France. And we've won another TV channel we cannot disclose yet in France also. We work in Canada with La Presse, so another media. So yes, we are very strong and we are very happy to have this kind of clients because it shows that we have the right product. We have the right solution. So if a brand faces strong issues regarding the management of data in the context of data marketing, I feel like we have some proven experience that we did the job.
That's great. That's great. And yeah, it's a market. You cannot you cannot have failures, and you always have to be up and get all the performances you need, and you can address that on top of OVH, and that's really great. And there are a few companies here that are really demanding. So it's nice to see that it's possible. As companies that try to have our own vision of the cloud, we can reach that, and it's really nice to get to that result, and it's really exciting. So we come to the conclusion of this very interesting conversation. What can you say to the market, to people that now are starting their business on right now? About your experience you have had with OVH?
I have often the question about our cloud providers, and people are very eager to understand why we have chosen OVH, and it's funny because it will depend on the interlocutors. So if you talk to an IT manager in a very big corporate, so with a very big IT department, they are quite happy with OVH because this is a French company. This is you have this idea of the data governance, and so we don't face many questions and issues. It's the discussion that are maybe the more challenging are with the younger. So the people creating startups, and because I'm in contact with many startup projects, I want to share experience with us, maybe a very small project, and sometimes they have a ready-made image that yes, the true performance is with Google and on Amazon, on Azure, and there is some French bashing that says, okay, is it possible to do that if you are French? And I show them basically, and I show them that we do, and yes, and then they come back to me and say, okay, maybe I should try. You convince me because it's possible. And really, I'm very happy to participate in this session because what we need to do, all together, OVH, Mediarithmics, and all the European startup, is to break this ready-made image in the younger generation that technology is always better coming from abroad, and that we can do very strong techno, and maybe we should, for many different reasons, better work with European techno.
Yes, and it's like we said before, it's we have a different vision, and people that are on the cloud market have a vision that have been brought by American people, and that's okay. And it's really the good services, I think, maybe for American people. Here in Europe, maybe we have a different way to do business, and we have a different vision about the cloud, and that's make the difference with the young people, I guess. And in OVH, we have the servers for people that want to be in control and on all the stack. But we have lately developed many products around the data intelligence. We are really accelerating on that, providing big data as a service, Spark as a service, ML serving. We have just launched many products this year, and the point here with OVH is we feel that we may still address companies like your company that want to be in control. And I guess it's really strategic, and it's important, strategical. It's important to be in control because we have to differentiate from the competitors, and you have to be in control on the maximum of the levels. And I do agree with you. But maybe there are other markets that need to go fast and maybe not to have all the performance right now, and OVH try to address those markets too. It's been really a pleasure to have this conversation with you. We have 5 minutes for people who want to address questions about the data we have had with Stefan right now.